Hi there, this is Neil from Let's Get More Sales. I'm so pleased that you downloaded the download. I want to take you through the process. It should take around about 3 sessions of 10 minutes, so don't get too stuck on anything. It's not about trying to give you more to do, but to try and get you some clarity and focus about where you are, where you want to go, and what needs to happen to achieve that. So this is an opportunity to take all the stuff that's cluttering up your mind, download it out of your head, get it out into the open, so that we can actually get some results, getting you some time back. This form is the exact process we use for taking clients on to the Accelerator program. It can be used for that, and it will be helpful if you do fill it out prior to the free consultation that we have if you want to go forward. But equally, even if you don't, it's just good to get the stuff out of your head and get it onto a piece of paper. So as business owners, we wear many hats. You can walk around the office, discuss payroll with one person, short delivery to a client with another, advertising copy with another, sickness with somebody else, and all of those people are deeply into what they're doing. That is what they do all day, but you're meant to hop from each one to the next, to the next, to the next, without a single breath being taken. And this can put your head in a whirl and lead to overwhelm. It's fantastic that you can do it, but it's not necessarily the way that it has to be, and it can cause, as I say, overwhelm. So this is a way of trying to get your time back, replacing yourself in the business, or keeping the team focused on the business's needs. So let's just get some housekeeping out of the way. If you haven't downloaded the form, you can pause now and download it. If you haven't got an access to be able to print it out or download it, then just get a piece of paper and write on that. Right, let's go. This is what the form looks like in the printed version. And as you can see, there's lots of bits of stuff there, but let's break it down and start with the first part, which is the target. Now, it's really interesting. Entrepreneurs like you and me, people that are doing pretty well and want to do better, we spend a tremendous amount of time reacting, and we need to stop that for a short period of time. And this is your opportunity to do that, and just simply sit down, spend 30 minutes on the 3 sessions, and look at what is truly important to yourself. So I want you to imagine that we're having this very same meeting 6 months or maybe even a year from now, and we're looking back over the past year. What would these 3 areas on the screen need to look like for you to be happy that the year's gone well and that you've achieved what you wanted to achieve? So in this, the first number that I'd like you to do is the target revenue. Now, quite simply, people talk about so many other things in a business as though they're higher priority, but this is the number one priority, is the amount of sales that have come into the business. We can work with figures and make sure that every single part of that revenue is as profitable as it's meant to be. But if we don't have any revenue, we don't have any business. And so think about it for a few moments and see what you'd like that revenue to be in your head. This was originally recorded during the COVID lockdown. So if you're worrying about what's happened due to the COVID, that's something we can discuss at your free consultation and when you choose to do that. But for the moment, ignore what's happened with that, and we can go through all the issues that COVID has caused at that time. So the next thing I'd like you to move on to do is, when you write down the amount of time that you want to spend working, and this is a big deal for most clients. Most people feel that they're putting a lot in compared to what they hoped for when they first started their business. They thought that it would be reduced down to a sensible amount of time. But I know that within the businesses that I've started up from scratch, that you can be working 1, maybe 2 days at the weekend. You may even come in early in the morning because that way nobody's around, so that you can get stuff done that during the day just doesn't get done because people are calling for your attention all the time. Uh, and you end up missing, your kids grow up and the school stuff you're supposed to be attending, ballet recitals and all of that sort. And first thing in the morning, you're checking email and your phone calls that you didn't get, and you're doing the same last thing at night. If this rings any bells for you, it can be changed significantly. So one of the first things to do is identify how much time do you want to spend working. And remember, this is your show. You don't have to tell anybody else about this apart from myself when we have our discussion. But just put down here what you want it to be. No target's too big, none's too small. It's whatever you want. Some people want to spend the least amount of time in their business, and others find that it's their life's purpose. Some people want to spend 3-4 months away from the business, and these are all possible, but they have to be a target first of all. So we all have different commitments and we all have different wants. So whatever it is right for you, just put those amount of hours that you feel that you want to be working, or whether you want to take a week or 6 months off. Next, we move on to the net income. And the point of that is to make sure that through all of this, we don't lose the sight that it is the net income that we want to have. The business works on revenue, but you survive on the net income. So once that's got that down, we can start then to move over to what the current situation is. So if you have a look at the top left-hand corner of the form, you'll see that there's a bit just called current. So the importance of this is we want to know where you are right now. The important thing is with this that these are actual figures, and you can go and check these out. Now, for the moment, you can put down what's in your head, but you may want to go and double check them afterwards against what is actual reality. And if you're doing this in preparation for our scheduled meeting, then if you could please make sure that you do have the exact figures for revenue and exact figures for net, so that we can work from a position of actuality. So, by the way, some people love working 80 hours a week, and that's more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's my job is to get you to where you want to be. So if you love working all the time, great. And if you don't want to work as much as that, then whatever you want, that's what we're here to achieve. So it's pretty simple. If you can find out your net revenue, that'd be fantastic. With time, it's very, very important to realize, as we were saying earlier on, that if you spent way more time probably doing things that you've discounted in your head. That's what we do. We say it's easier than we thought it was going to be, and I don't remember all of that. But if you're not 100% certain, and you've got a partner, just ask your partner how much time they think that you spend in the business, and it will probably be slightly different from what you think that it is. And it'd be great to have your net income as it actually is approximately up to date, if you can, and we can then sort of move forward. But it is important to get the net figure, the correct figure for the revenue. A lot of people just sort of think, oh well, we do around about £600,000 a month, and then they just multiply that out and come up with a figure, and then when they actually look at it, they go, oh well, that's the best month or whatever. So it's always good to get the exact figure, and that way we can really work on looking at your business and where we can get it to. Now, if you have the form, you'll see in between the two of those, there is a section titled The Gap, and you've probably guessed that's the next section, and you've probably guessed what we're going to do. But this is essentially the value that's going to be added. This is the difference between what you want and where you are, and this is how we're going to sit down and work out what the difference is that needs to be achieved and the difference that we're bringing to the party. So if simply you take the revenue figure and minus the current revenue figure, and you'll, in my example, that's 1.2 million less 900k, and we come up with 300k. Time difference is 65 hours less 30 hours, so that's 35 hours. And a net income change from 240 to 180 to 240. Now, that is quite significant. Most people work 35 to 40 hours a week to earn a net income of 60K. And that's the difference that, in this example, we're looking to try to achieve. Well, for the moment, that's just the end of this session. We're trying to keep it down to 10 minutes. And if you can go to my website, check out the next session, and start working on that. If you feel so inclined, you can just schedule a meeting now. You don't have to work through all 3 slides. You can schedule a meeting and see whether we've got time to be able to work together, and we can discuss how the accelerator program works with the figures that we've got. But for the moment, please enjoy what you're doing. You don't have to book a session. Just use this form how you feel free. And I look forward to catching you up in the next session.